Manny, if you're in the other room and you're watching this, how come we don't have a badass intro using Tim's music? Like, we need to change that intro. Like, come on, man.
That is Tim's music.
No, with Tim's music, but we just need it's just the hammer sitting there.
Yeah,
Let's do
yeah.
something.
We
Let's
need
do
a
something
cool
way
one.
cool.
We do need a cool one.
Yeah, we need something way better. But we've been slacking on our podcast, so we're gonna make it more consistent. Now that obviously the bear run is in full. Or wait, did I say bear run? I mean the
You
bull
did.
run. The bull run. Freudian slip. Oops. Nope. It may feel like we're going back into the bear market, and to be honest, like, things just don't look great in terms of technicals. Like, it's rough. It's rough out there. I think Blake, you and I were talking about this right before we were going on. Is like, with all the information that we have going on in this world, like the amount of like positive news, like every day, like there's something like new in terms of like the crypto universe.
Yeah.
Right? Is more positivity, more positivity, more positivity. Like, you can't get any better. But why are we still hovering around and just kind of going sideways and not doing the things? Well, I think it's all about it's the Trump effect. People are scared with the amount of stuff that he's doing. I'm not going to get political at all. I'm just going to say, with what he is doing, like,
Yeah.
with Doge and with all the other garbage that's just being found, and just disruption in general is, I think it's just people are scared.
Yeah.
And then you had Powell today come in, and people are waiting for him to lower these interest rates, or waiting for this magical moment of like, make all of my numbers go up.
Mm-hmm.
And the problem is he is at odds with what everybody else thinks we should be in terms of where we would need to go. But I think he said today that they're not going to lower interest rates until inflation is near zero, or zero, is what he said. So, I mean, it's like, okay, like, I mean, it's fine. Like, to be completely honest, this is a market that shouldn't be driven by the legacy side, but everybody's been excited about ETFs, and everybody's excited about all these big companies coming in. Well, guess what? They're all driven by the legacy market. They're driven by interest rates, and this is what happens. So we kind of have to wait the long game, And
Yeah.
We're not dead. Obviously, you can see, this is on the weekly, so it's high time frames. Everything's still bullish. Even the retests of these EMAs, it's still a bullish scenario, right? We're still in an upward trend, especially these lower time frame, or the longer EMAs down here.
Mm-hmm.
I think one of the cooler ones to look at is your guppy itself, right? Like, it's full bull, man. We're still green, still up, we're still in that bull market. Nothing has told you that we're in a bear market yet. The Ichimoku cloud, you can easily come down and test 73 and still be in a bull market, on the weekly.
I mean, your indicators, you're above the cloud, you're green,
Yep. All the above, man. We're still there. Nothing is showing you. Now, I will say, this looks like a classic double top. So downward, pressure looks imminent. In terms of, I think I did this. Actually, we did this yesterday with in the office here. We were talking about just what things were looking like. For me, this little death triangle here is kind of your zone, right? If you've seen, we've been touching. We've had some good reactions here, good buys, which is awesome. And if we get another good buy signal out of here, I'll be okay. But I'll be highly skeptical of us getting down and closing within this range on this lower trend line here. So I'm in a cautious scenario, not in that the bull's even over, even if we dip down from here. Like I said, everything else is still bullish, even for retests down into the 70K range. So the bull market's still intact. We're still moving forward. It's just another test of the market, and it's just disruption with everything that's going on, in the world right now. So there's a lot of weirdness. You've got wars. You've got just tons of shit that's just happening.
Well, it's not even. I mean, obviously all like the, everything with the U.S. presidential changes and everything. But I mean, even China, like yesterday or something, came out and they're kind of having more security and scrutiny on the banking side as far as to like trades and things of that nature. So
yep. I mean, HB, he's right. It's the Mount Everest death zone, right? It's death in a short term. It's not a killer of the entire market, right? It's a retest. It definitely, you would see people crying from all levels, and it would suck. Don't get me wrong, and it would just kind of push us out a little bit further, but we'll see. And this is, again, I'm on higher time frames, dailies. The 4-hour looks like garbage, everything down below. So, but we're not dead, and we shouldn't be dead. Like in terms of time frames of, past markets themselves, just to give people an idea from bear to top, right? Time frames. You're looking at 735 days. 861 days, 1,071 days, and we talked about this as well. Like the increase, and this is this is an effect of Bitcoin and its actual the tokenomics of Bitcoin. It gets harder to mine every 4 years. The halving, right? In that it draws out the actual economic side of it. So, I mean, you can see here, this technically should probably go to, I did the math a while back. I think it goes into this 1,100 days, 1,000 days. I think it's in this range here. I think it's 1,100 days.
Because what is that? Almost a 20% bump or so each 4-year cycle, or just
somewhere in there, right? So you got to see this, and it's not necessarily 20%. It's an actual exponential growth. And so I did a whole like kind of analysis on that alone. So I mean, the bull market. I keep saying bear just because we're in a bad zone right here. But the bull market's not over. We still have the majority of the year left in this market, I think. Obviously 42069 is written. For
written in stone.
We know it's written, right? It's written, carved in stone. So just take it in stride. Go touch grass, as the kids say these days.
Yeah.
Whatever that means to you, and come back and reset yourself and make sure you're not over leveraged. Like myself. But yeah, so I think that's where we're at, man. This is we're still bull market.
Yep.
And with that being said, we got the Pick'em contest that we want to talk about. We want to, we had some good feedback of like allocation stuff, like where we want to be at potentially for the amount that we have in the account. M-Ice, he was putting in a lot of good feedback, I thought, right? And kind of spreading it out in the meme coin. I'm going to get to Punjab on this because I want to talk about this actually too. Like meme coins, RWA, AI, those are kind of narratives, and I include DPIN under RWA. Real world asset type of situation, and a lot of it's going to be ran on DPIN networks. But I think take profits, buy silver. What?
Gold hit an all-time high.
Yeah, I mean, silver's gonna go up, but I mean, it's like, sure. I mean, if you're good with 5% overall, that's fine. You can buy USDC and stake it on Coinbase too.
Yeah.
I mean, really.
Yeah. What is that APY on staking your?
I think it's 5%, or it used to be. I don't go to Coinbase anymore.
Yeah.
I use Kraken anyway, and they're just gonna now release. They're bringing back their staking and stuff like that, which got taken away with the SEC, and that was one of the in reality, like you can stake in your own wallet, custody your own stuff. Like if you have
Mhm.
Sol, you can stake Sol. There's plenty of protocols out there that'll stake your stuff for you. Use liquidity pools. Liquidity pools are a great way to create different APYs. So
Yeah,
yeah.
absolutely.
But let's talk Pick'em, and then I'm going to come back to Punjab's comment as we get down, because we'll kind of talk markets and kind of what a couple of things that are going on here. So
Yeah, absolutely.
So we got the Pick'em in. What was our final count? 37, 38 people?
No, we're up. We have. I can just go to our leaderboard for a quick 39.
39. Why couldn't we have 30 more people?
I know, right? Gosh, if only. But yeah, 39. Obviously, I can kind of just run through this whole sheet or whatever real quick. Everyone can see this. That's in the
Is it pinned? Did you pin it in the Discord?
It should be.
Okay.
Yes, it is. Yep, that's pinned. So everyone can go see it. So obviously, everyone that's in it kind of knows the rules already. So I'm not going to necessarily go through that too much. But if you guys do want to come check out the rules for those that are in it, be sure to do it here. As well as this is like just a link to SolScan for the wallet address, so everyone can kind of track as we allocate into maybe a couple of meme coins, into some AVAX, Tau, things like that. Everyone can track the portfolio directly through SolScan here.
I'll give you so if we do end up going into an EVM wallet, I'll give you the ETH wallet that we have. So
Yep, absolutely.
We can post that in there as well. So it's
For
the
sure.
same one as last year, but
Yep. I might as well even just put that in here, just anyways. So I can do that.
It's got some dust in there, which technically belongs to me in the terms of the funds, but I'll just leave it in there for the group. So,
just so everyone knows what everything is, this is just all the picks that everyone submitted. This is essentially just a sorted list that gives me the direct tokens. So if people change their things, it'll get updated here first. This is our program page. So this is the shout out to Old Man Smithers for building out a big old program for us to be able to run, to essentially go to CoinMarketCap or CoinGecko and grab all of these prices for us at any time I run that command. So that was some trial and error that we had to do to kind of get that figured out. And he put in a lot of time to help us do that. So
I appreciate that, old man. It was a big help. And, obviously he was a big winner of last year. He won a quarterly one and got a little pudgy, and the airdrop that came along with that little pudgy, which I want to say was a lot.
Yeah.
What was the little pudgy airdrop?
I don't remember. It was like
crypto compliant, or Satoshi, Satoshi had a little pudgy too, so they got.
Yeah, I didn't have a pudgy, but even I got some of the airdrop just from. Yeah. Whatever.
From being a part of the community in different ways. So
no,
that's great. I really appreciate that. So getting that going.
Yeah.
I think. Can you go back to the front page, because I just want to go over so people understand that we simplified it in terms of your pick. Your entry fee was $50 unless you were already with us last year.
Yep.
Then your entry fee was paid, and the $50 is in there. This actually ends up being a little bit more than 50 per person in there, because I left enough for everybody from last year to join, and not everybody did. We had some new people join, so we got some extra added into there. So it's $50 to join, and then it's you have to have one pick, and you can have a maximum of 10. The reason we did max 10 is just not to put too much work onto Blake over here, like managing.
And it gets hard with we have free APIs for everything. I don't want to pay for APIs. So if we get too many tokens, too many calls, it gets messy real quick.
Yeah. So crypto compliance classic. He got nothing except shame. Well, see, look, you're a product of your own picks. So,
yeah, absolutely. No one to blame.
When you pick like the negative USDC side of things, USDC, USDT.
Yeah.
Anyways, I'll not shame you anymore, but we've had plenty of talks. I think he's all in ETH now, right? Like he's full ETH. I don't know what his picks are.
We'll check out his page.
We will in a second. So, anyways, 1 pick to 10 picks max. You can change that throughout the entirety of the program, which will cost you. What's our increase? I forget.
25 for the first, then 50, then 100, and so forth.
So it doubles every time. So if you make a change, it's $25. If you make another change, it's 50, and then 100, and that includes anything. So if you started with 3 picks and you want to go down to 2, right? That's a change. That's a $25 change. So
yep. I put it there, just adding, subtracting, swapping.
And that goes straight to the pool. That's not like a fee we charge for this game. Everything goes into the pool. The pool gets divided amongst the winners. So we are running this for until the end of June. So that is going to be the first half of the year. We will evaluate as we get closer if we want to do a second one, which will be started over completely. We're going to do monthly winners. Every month we're going to do a deep device giveaway for the winner of that month. And then the end will just be the pot will be distributed between the top 3 winners like we did last year. So anyways, it's going to be a fun one. I'm excited to see what we can do. I just need you guys to buy a lot more tokens so we can get this bull run going a little bit faster. So
absolutely
more fun. I'm blaming it on everybody. It's all your guys' fault. But anyways, so let's discuss the idea of allocation. So the way we have it is the pool is in there. It's in Sol right now. And we can now allocate to whatever the group feels would be their best bet to allocate to. So we had a little poll, and the poll was mainly meme coins. We've had a community member come forward, M-Ice, and say we should do a little more distributed. I kind of seem to fall into that realm. I'd like that too, and I kind of want to put that up for a secondary poll to push that out. And I think we need to make it a little bit quicker and actually allocate by the end of this week. So
absolutely,
whatever voting gets done in these polls at the end of this week, we're going to put the allocations to where they should be. So I think a lot of people are going to point towards let's just put it into USDC and leave it there because they're all scared. But you know what? So we'll put that up today. Blake will put that out there of the different poll ideas, and then we'll get that situated and get allocated. So the fun part is every month we'll go through and we'll be like, hey, do we want to change the allocation? We can change it in the middle of the month if community members like, hey, this sucks, let's put it to here, put it up for a vote in the Discord channel, and Blake can get that set up and an actual vote put out. We can change it however and whenever we want. So as long as we get the majority to vote for that, we'll do it. And we'll put it in that way. So
absolutely
cool.
I want to just quickly just want to finish kind of just briefly running through this, just so when people come in, they don't get confused. Token prices will automatically come here. These are kind of, I was doing more testing, adding in new tokens. So you can see these were pulled on the 3rd, not the 1st. Tokens automatically get pulled to here. And then this is just essentially my functions table where all the VLOOKUPs for everyone's tokens gets put into. So don't get confused on all the different sheets. The only one you really need to focus on is the leaderboard. This obviously, everyone's at 100 right now. We go into just someone like Jay Soto's, for example. You should be able to
coin. Nice.
You'd be surprised how many people picked that. Like, I want to say, oh yeah, probably 6 or 7 people at least picked it. Which is just funny. See, crypto compliant here.
What? Crypto compliance got fart coin in there?
I guess he does.
What is happening? Like, I don't see ETH in there. You're ETH Maxi, bro. Like, what's going on here? Like, look, this is lies, all lies. You're telling me you're all on ETH. What's going on? I'm a little disappointed. I thought it was going to just be ETH and only ETH. So,
yeah.
What did I pick? I forgot. I got one crap ass coin that's already dead. I've already lost. So, oh yeah, AI 9000. It's dead.
Oh man!
And the funny part was I picked 3 thinking we were in the last time, and so I picked USDC, which actually is going to help me out this month.
Absolutely, even you out.
Yeah, so it's like, oh, okay, well, that might have been actually a decent pick for me. So, and that was by accident. So
maybe what we can do this time around too. I mean, it's so easy to run the function now that it's all built out and pretty, but we could even do like a mid-month update and be like, hey, this is where everything stands. We could do that maybe on Friday. That could be fun.
Yeah, I think we should for sure. You know, Fartcoin looking pretty good actually comparatively. You know, it's the meme that resonates with everybody.
Yeah,
In reality. So
parts are funny.
yeah, I mean, I am I think it was MICE that put it in there too. So I put an article out a couple weeks ago talking about meme coins and this just the drain that it's going to have and the idea of what's happening with Sol in and oh no, he put out a video and they kind of correlated Sol BTC and ETH BTC and the reality of what a meme coin and NFT market that really sucked all the liquidity out of ETH and got like push it back through. It was interesting that kind of correlated with my same idea of the meme coin side with Sol, right? Like you just have so many meme coins and they're draining the actual liquidity away from everything that's going on. It's one of the things that has had me start to push away from Sol. Like
yeah,
I was heavy Sol, and I've been starting to kind of push away from it in this downturn, looking for tokens that have shown a lot more resilience. And I'll point out Ondo here, which I did not pick yet, but this was the last big dip that we had. This wick here. I have an arrow somewhere. I don't know. Anyways, this wick on the bottom here. So this was that last big downturn. And so what I like to do is I like to look at other tokens compared to that. So if you take Sol, for instance, this was that same wick here, and it dipped down hard, kind of had a little revamp back up, but looks like we're heading lower again. Normally you don't see that with a wick like this. Another leg down, usually you're going to see that type of wick get bought back up. So there's potential it still goes, and it's still within the range with fib levels and everything else. But the what I'm trying to point out is the weakness that it had right afterwards, where Ondo, it picked it up and it was steady. Ondo, has a big narrative in the RWA side. It's working with a lot of large companies, and I think is going to be a big player in that tune. So I took a lot of my Sol and pushed it into Ondo. I love AVAX in what it's doing. I don't think the narrative has really kind of resonated with them yet. One of the things I'm not a huge fan about Twitter is the moment you start to like research, or look at something, it changes your algorithm completely, so you don't get a fair idea of what's going on. So I get tons of AVAX shit all the time.
Yeah, and so you think it's...
Yeah, so you're like, ooh, AVAX is getting hot.
Yeah.
Well, it's because you've liked a few.
It's that echo chamber.
Exactly. It kind of created a bigger echo chamber, which I'm not a huge fan of. Excuse me. And AVAX, so looking at AVAX, it was similar to Sol, where it bought up, dipped back down, and it's kind of showing the weakness again. So there wasn't a whole lot that actually was like Ondo when you look at it out there. Everything had that. I love the Doge dog every time.
Yeah,
it's there's not a ton that did. The Jupe actually looks like shit, which is funny. Like that looks like a great stable coin to me.
I mean, it's pretty much what it is in terms of. I mean, it doesn't really have too much you can do with it outside of buying it to directly just hold on their own platform.
Yeah, so Fartcoin. So if we look at Fartcoin, this was the wick here, and this is the downturn here. So it again doesn't look as good either, right? It didn't hold steady. It's at a nice level, I would say, in terms of like where is it going to go in terms of downturn. Not a whole lot more, I don't think, but it's a shit coin, so literally a shit coin. So
yeah.
That thing. So yeah. XRP, no, same thing. Like, it's hard to find. So for me, like the strength that Ondo has shown in the midst of all this really gets me excited to kind of push into it. So I think I'll probably, keep pushing more into that. And if we get another big dip in this same type of wick scenario on the daily or even the weekly, Like that was a great weekly candle. Like if we get something similar to that again, look for strength. Look for the ones that pulled up and did really well after that wick. You know, yeah, Gall is everybody's favorite token. So, but yeah, so let's see what else we got going on here. What are people saying? I love echo chambers. I just get to hear what I love all the time. Yes, it is always nice to be, felt like you're heard. Tim, I get it, but sometimes we need to kind of go outside of our little our bubble and make sure that we're seeing the right things and hearing the right things and what's going on, and it's not always what we get through social media and stuff. So
no, touch grass, talk to a neighbor.
Tim over here shilling his token. It's an XRP token. I think it's the only one that's on XRP, right? The Ledger, like the only token that goes on XRP. Like, why does a banking token even have extra tokens on it? This is the thing. Like, it's so. Let's go on the liquidity side of things. I tweeted something today, or I retweeted a guy that was talking about it. And I'm going to pull it up on a different because I'm not logged in on Twitter on this one here. Maybe you can find it, Blake.
Yeah, I bet I can pull that up.
So I retweeted it this morning a few hours ago. So, and it was an account called Monk. And he said, since TGE, you've got Starknet minus 87, Mode minus 70, Blast minus 85, ZK Sync minus 47, Scroll minus 50, Dimension minus 87, Barachain minus 59, Hyperliquid plus 1100. Now, the one thing it doesn't have on there, which he should have, is Pengu, which is another one that, minus launch is down 66% out of launch.
Yeah.
So off TGE. And the problem is, what we're seeing with TGEs is literally it's just liquidity drain. There are all these investors or people that were early on that are now getting this token and are just sucking out the liquidity from that immediately. So why wouldn't they? Like, I don't hold any Pengu. I sold a bunch of it, right? And I sold it all ultimately. I sold a bunch in the beginning, took a bunch out, and then I sold the rest of it as we started to dip down and saw that we were losing strength. And, there's no real world money backing it. It's all just a ghost token. So if you're going out and you're buying these TGE events thinking it's going to be the next big thing, be wary, man. Like, all you're having people do is dump on you. And every single one of these influencers that start talking about the TGE event and like, oh yeah, this token's going to be it. Like, be wary of that person as well, because guess what? They had that company come to them and say, hey, you should be a part of our program. We're going to give you early access. We're going to give you a special funding, price. We're going to give you something to where they've got early tokens. And that TGE, they're just sucking that liquidity out, and you're the ones that are giving.
You're providing all of it. Yeah.
And it's time immemorial. Why is it that Hyperliquid is up 1,000%? It's because it has real actual use case with its token, and people are buying it and using it, right? So none of these other tokens, people are buying it and using it. Pengu dropped. What does it do? It's nothing. It's a meme coin. Meme coins are, while they're fun to play with and they can make a boatload of money, they are 100% gambling, and you're you got to be careful with it. So
yeah.
But that's me just ranting, because it's like this market's really kind of getting to me in terms of the people and just the grifting. Barstool president. I don't know if you're a sports fan, you know who he is.
Yeah. Dave Portnoy.
Dave Portnoy. He launched his own token as well. Actually, I should find it.
JL Stool.
Yeah, Bird Eye. Jail Stool. What? That's the wrong one. What are we doing here? There it is. This isn't my normal computer I work at, so everything's all wrong for me. So he goes out and he starts talking about his token that he wants to launch, and to his credit, he literally up front was like, "How do I make billions of dollars without screwing everybody over?" Right? Like he's talking about it. Now, what did he do? Like he launches Jailstool, his own token, pumps it up. He hasn't, to his credit, that I know of, at least right now, he hasn't sold any. He was upfront with where he, what he has, what he owns, and he's going to hold it, and he's trying to pump the token up to make people a lot of money. But what are people going to do with that token? They're going to pump it and they're going to freaking dump it because it doesn't have any damn use case, man. It's just all it is there to extract liquidity from one person and give it to another. That's all it's there for. That's all really markets do, right? When people are trading in markets, it's there to take liquidity from somebody else and give it to another person. So, with all that being said, I do like this chart. It's a meme coin. Does nothing.
I don't think you're showing that chart.
Am I not? Oh, I'm sitting here talking about not showing it. Come on, Blake. You got to help me out here.
Well, I was still looking at my own screen. I was finding him talking about it because he had a funny tweet this morning.
There we go.
Yeah, that's the time.
There we go. I got it up now. Yeah, so and it pumps up. It goes up a crap ton from, token launch, and then it just dies, right? And this is all within a few days. What is this, the 8th, 9th, 10th, 11th? Yeah, so we're like 4 days in. Yeah, 3 full days in, and it dumps on the majority of its users because that's what people are going to do. And it's a lot of bots are coming in. This is incredibly bot driven. You're not going to out trade the bots. You just got to go with the flow. So, this is what we're getting. This is the garbage that we're getting, and there's good and bad. I'll go with the good side. The good side, let me start with the bad side. The bad side is what we're talking about. It's just liquidity drain. And it didn't start with Trump, but it peaked with Trump coin, right? The Trump coin launch was, in my opinion, weird and ridiculous all at the same time.
Mm-hmm.
And it did the same thing. Like, let's pull up Trump coin. Trump official. It went up to what, $60? Is that what it was at? Oh no, not that high.
No, I don't think it was
48, $50. But that's the grossest looking chart I've ever seen. Same thing. It pumps a shit ton from its release, and it was way lower than this. This isn't showing when it first came out.
No, yeah.
But it was way lower than this. It went up a crap ton of percent in 24 hours and then just continues to dump from there, right? And this is, just garbage. It's a garbage token. It does nothing, right? And there's nothing that was put out to it.
Well, now, and I feel like once the tokens get to this point, anyone that buys from this point is just providing liquidity for everyone behind them to try and get out because they're like, I just want to cut my bait and move on.
Exactly what it is. That's all it is now. Like, there's nothing to it. So
yeah.
The problem, and this is the bad side, right? This is just pure liquidity drain. This is the peak of it here. So everything after this, all it is you're going to see more and more people that are grifting to take away from the community. And this is the bad side of it, right? The bad side is like, it's just bad. People are going to lose money. You're going to see a very big drain on the market. Pump.fun, while it brings a lot of liquidity into Sol, it also takes a lot out, right? And that has a negative effect overall on crypto.
Yep.
On the positive side, right? Because there is a positive side to this that I think is if we continue down this road, it's going to be a snake eating its tail type of situation. And I liken it to the same way that NFTs were going in 2021 to 2022. They had a big rise up. Insane valuations going on for some of these, JPEGs that did nothing. And, people bought them at insane prices. And it was unsustainable and it did nothing. And it ended up being a liquidity drain, much like we talked about in the beginning with ETH, but also in these people that bought them. And so you're just going to see this continual decline with Sol, level pricing and a SOL level liquidity and the amount of use case that comes in, because all it is literally the market eating itself.
Yep.
And so, but that's a good thing, because what that's going to turn to is people are going to get away from that stuff and you're going to go to real world stuff like Ondo. When we talked about Ondo in the past, right? Ondo has, it's real world assets it's tied to, but it's going to be tied to actual stuff that's doing something and changing things. Your layer ones, that do stuff. As much as I hate on Ethereum, we wouldn't be here without Ethereum, right? And
absolutely.
There's a ton of people that still build on it. Anything EVM compatible. Obviously, I love Avalanche and the way that you can launch a layer one. It's great. Deep network, obviously, I'm partial to that. We're building in utility. It's got real world income coming into it, right? People are going to rotate into these, and that's where you're going to see, I think, a big shift. We're going to see regulations coming this year that are going to be, positive in the fact that it's going to give guidelines to what is legal, not legal, and allow people then to operate within those boundaries. And that's going to be your stuff that has actual real world, ability. So I think we're going to see a lot of that stuff kind of rotate in this year alone. So apparently Fartnoy is now up 1,000% in 15 minutes. How much did you buy, M-Ice?
What's the contract address? There's probably 1 million fart coins now, or fart noise or whatever.
Yeah, you probably want to look. Usually, if it's going up a lot, you're going to go with the top one that has the daily volume, most likely. I don't think that's it. Maybe it was. Yeah, it was up a lot and down a lot.
Yep.
There's your shit coins. That's what you're getting. What is that? Anyways, I gotta look. But the liquidity, like liquidity is 241K. So I mean, somebody comes in and buys $100,000 worth. It's pumping that token a shit ton. So
yep,
it doesn't have that. It doesn't have the liquidity that's needed there. So, but I mean, so let's see, what time is it here? I got a little time. We're good. Could be a fake one. NNV, is that the one I'm watching? Nope, I'm watching a different one. I want to see which one he's looking at.
Yeah, I am too.
I don't know, can I copy it out of there? I can't get it.
Yeah, paste that in the Discord.
I can't get it out of the...
See if you can, M-Ice, if you can, paste that in the Discord so we can throw it up.
Yeah, but this is two things with this. Is one is it's what I would love to see happen. I think is going to happen, and I think would be good overall for crypto. Does it happen? I give it a 50-50 chance.
Yeah.
People love to gamble. That's what crypto's kind of the meme coin type of situation is really came into. And it's it definitely is brought a lot of volume, because it's I talked to somebody about this too the other day, is meme coins really are the crypto side of the lottery for people, right? It's just a way that people are getting taxed because they're losing their one SOL that they put on Fartnoy because they don't care about it now because it's worth 25 cents. In that it's gone. You've lost that. It's completely out. It's just like going and buying a lottery ticket. You have a 1 in a gajillion chance you're going to win that lottery ticket, and you have the same thing here in terms of a meme coin, because there's thousands made every single day, and you're not going to be able to catch up with it. So, let's see, did he post it in here?
He did post it in the Discord.
I'll get it. Oh, I can't get it. You got to post it up. I don't have Discord on this computer.
I can share.
But anyways, so yes, Jay said, "Oh, they are sucking all the liquidity." Anyways, what are some tokens that people are talking about? Tau a lot, which I've looked at in the past. that was one of the tokens that I think people were looking at as a potential for.
I think you got to flip your screen over to it.
Oh, yeah. So Tau, this is again daily. I mean, it's basically you're at a point with Tau where it was in April 2024, a year ago, right? In that same spot. I don't even know really. I know Old Man Smithers was big into Tau. A couple people were talking about it. I think it has something to do with AI. Am I missing that point? So.
Tau, yeah, I think even MIS may have talked about it a little bit.
The third Roach says he's heavy into network spirituality. This is another liquidity event, and I will sadly say it took a few of my soul a long time ago. It was one of those ones you see, you dive in, and it goes away, and there it is. And he followed suit. I think he sold his, though. Did you sell yours?
I think so.
Spirituality. That's too funny. Yeah. What were they else? Let me pull up the Discord over here so I can see. They were talking about a couple other tokens.
I mean, Ondo, Tau, FET, and AGIX.
Oh, yeah. That's been a long time one that I've talked about with Michael on here a lot.
Yeah.
It's an old school coin. It's been around forever. It's an AI token. I don't actually. Here's the problem again. So these AI tokens, what is it that they're actually doing? Most of the AI compute that's in crypto is they're trying to access the edge compute of things because in the beginning with AI they're not buying $100,000 NVIDIA cards to be able to run any of the AI models that need to be ran. So they had to try and access the edge side of it, where it's people that do buy it in these big warehouse type places can utilize part of it. With the newer chips that are coming out, you're going to start to see the ability for actual hardware to run a lot of this stuff. The deep was it Deep Stake? What was the China AI?
Oh, DeepSeek.
DeepSeek. DeepSeek.
Yeah.
DeepSeek. Yeah. So DeepSeek came out, and was talking about how it was able to do what or close to what ChatGPT did with very little. So very little compute power. Mm-hmm. We've shown that it's not actually up to par with what it can do, but the chips that are coming out with NVIDIA, they're getting better, they're getting smaller, they're getting cheaper, just like any compute that's going on. So is there potential that these tokens are going to actually utilize that in an AI space? I haven't dove into enough of these to really see that they are more than actually just a chatbot, than a clone of a ChatGPT bot that's going in there, that they're actually able to harness some compute power that's going to be there. So is there idea in AI that can go in a lot of places? I think so. Are people can actually do it? Maybe. Don't know. So, but yeah, that's been around for a long, long time.
Yeah, that was one of the first ones I looked at.
Yeah.
In terms of AI coins.
Let's see, what do we got in the chat over here? People talking about saying Tau is not DePIN, but some subnets are DePIN focused. Many subnets are coliseums of sorts for AI experts to develop in various specialties. DeepSeek is made of hundreds of these. Gotcha. Okay, so that makes sense. I mean, I can understand that. That's in there. So, and in reality, that is, I think, probably the biggest use case in AI and crypto right now. Like, there's not a lot of ability for, like he said, the DePIN side of it, just because of the expense that goes into those chips, right? So, interesting. I always want to give away little like hints of what we're trying to do in the deep network and stuff, of like some things we're trying to build on. But I know people get angry at me if I start
leaking too much.
Yeah, and then like without it actually being an actual thing. So I'll just close my mouth. I'll just shut my mouth for now until we get there. Until we're back.
Until it's live.
Until it's live. Yeah. Anyways, I wanted to talk about something that Punjab said early on. Maybe I already touched on it. Oh yeah. So this is something he talked about early on. Wait until the OTC coins dry up. So that's an interesting one, right? When you look at the amount of buys that ETFs alone have been buying over the last year, there technically hasn't been enough OTC tokens. And one of the things that came out was that potentially, and this hasn't been verified, is that Coinbase was doing like IOUs to BlackRock and some of your bigger companies in terms of like, we'll get you on the flip side, bro, with those tokens. Now I know they have to settle, so I don't think that is fully true in terms of they have to actually settle that price point in the legacy markets, and that means that they actually have to hold that token. But what we did see is with Solana recently with Coinbase that they ran out, and this has been a couple times now where they ran out of Solana on Coinbase for people to withdraw. And so what they did is they stalled the withdrawals. Normally a withdrawal from Solana should take seconds. And this was taking 12 to 24 hours. And so one of the things that was theorized and talked about was that they were waiting for the next epoch on their the idea that they're holding validators and getting Solana distributed to them because of the validators that they're holding onto, that they were going to use that. I don't know how much that's true either. Like, were they just waiting 12 to 24 hours for other deposits to come in to then take care of that? There's a lot that goes on in terms of why did they wait 12 to 24 hours to deliver people's soul. And it 100% came from a liquidity issue, meaning they did not have the liquidity to do it. But, what does that mean in the long term? It kind of means, when the bull run does hit, we are going to see a liquidity issue. And especially in Bitcoin, like with the amount that's being bought by, nation states, companies, ETFs, funds and everything else, that it is going to be an issue. And that is what's going to drive this price incredibly higher. And that is what we're going to see in the Bitcoin dominance that, with people waiting for their precious alt season, is probably going to get hit pretty damn hard because it's going to get sucked out, all that liquidity. So interesting. I was just doing a little trend line here from last bull run top and right where we're sitting at now. So this would be not our most favorite scenario to lose this trend line. just FYI. You can see there's been a lot of reaction there. Again, there's that death triangle I was talking about. If I zoom in on that spot on a more granular basis, this point here, we don't want to lose this. We don't want to lose this trend line technically. So we're not there yet, but we're getting pretty damn close. We'll see. I don't know. What other questions people got? Let's see. Gotta go into the comments. Ride it to nothing. Ride or die, baby. Ride or die. I got a pretty low liquidity point, so I'm not too worried. But riding it out for months really kind of. He wrote it to nothing. He's talking about network spirituality. Good job, dude. That's what you're supposed to do. Yeah. So, but anyways, we're coming up 50 minutes. I think it's a long enough podcast. We had a nice showing, 40 some odd people that showed up. I appreciate all you guys coming on. Let's keep the chatter in the Discord. Look for those polls that'll come up. And yeah, man, What else you got? Anything? Any parting words of wisdom?
No. Not really. Hold on.
All right, well, one more. I'm going to do one more. We've got Jay Sato asked, what about JLP? JLP is the token from Jupe that gets distributed to how do I phrase this?
It's like their perps token.
It's their perps token. So for all the fees that get put in, you're going to get paid in. Oh, this is Jupiter. I'm like, what's going on here? That's not the right one. I'm like, it should look. It looks like this. I'm like, it's not looking right. So it's the perp token. It gets distributed out. It's very steady. And the fact of perps, all that Jupe has done is made perps better and better and better, and more people use it all the time. It just continually provides. It's a very safe token, crypto compliant.
I don't think that's the right chart. I think Jupe is more expensive than that.
No, this is JLP. He was asking JLP, wasn't he? Or was he asking Jupe?
Yeah. Oh, no, you're right.
Yeah. No, this is JLP.
Yep. I was looking at the wrong thing.
Yeah, the JLP, so it's the Jupiter Perps LP token liquidity protocol. So they get the fees, just the majority of the fees actually get distributed back to those people that hold this token. So you actually get rewarded plus the price of the token. All it's done is increase. Now, it hasn't increased a ton, but you get rewarded with that token. So since its inception a year ago, it's up 75%. Not bad. Like I said, it's a safe token. It's one of those things that if you're not looking to trade, you're looking to just kind of keep it safe. I mean, this is definitely one that I would look into in terms of a long-term hold. So, because JLP or Jupe in their perp program, like it just keeps getting better, more liquidity to it, more people are trading in it. I mean, that's where I earn the majority of my Jupe airdrop was because of the Jupe perps program. So, anyways, I'll end there. That was the last question. You folks enjoy your day.
Yes. Pay attention for some polls.
Yep, and we'll do more of these podcasts talking markets. So,
absolutely.
Cool. All right, guys.
All right, everybody.
Peace.
Catch you next time.